I quit making my dream game because I couldn't afford to. Yo, what is good, Dev guys? Welcome to the first devlog for my game, Baseline. What is Baseline? Baseline is a fast-paced first-person shooter. It has basketball as the main objective of the game, and it's inspired by games like Rocket League, Apex Legends, Titanfall, the list goes on. Since my target audience is low to high-end PCs and consoles, the game's art style is going to be stylized. It takes mechanics from games like NBA 2K, Rocket League, as well as Apex Legends, and mixes them all up together to create a new fun experience. There's no out of bounds or fouls to slow down the gameplay, meaning it's high-speed action until a team hits the game-winning shot. With that out of the way, let's talk about some of the features I've been able to implement so far. You're about to click off the video because you're here for the clickbait title. I'm sorry. Okay, I quit making my dream game because I couldn't afford to. Okay? Time-wise, money-wise, brain power-wise, skill-wise, I just didn't have what I needed to complete a Destiny clone. Now, that's not to say that that game is not still my dream game. What I'm doing now is I'm making a project that's based around all of the features and all of the systems that I want to put in my dream game, but it's a little bit more condensed, it's a little bit more controlled, and it's a little bit more manageable for one person. In 1 month, you'll be able to see how far I've gotten when I, get into the features. But yeah, essentially, I quit developing my dream game only because I don't want to put out a piece of shit. I don't want to put out something that doesn't look as good as I envision it. But I'm done talking about that depressing ass shh. Let's get into the video. In Baseline, I wanted to try full body awareness. In a game where you have on these cool skins, I want you to be able to look down at your feet and see what shoes you got on to match that outfit. In most tutorials, they teach you to attach the camera directly to the head bone and boom, true first person. But that solution is not good enough if you want to stop the unwanted head bobbing that makes players motion sick. My solution was to use one of the AAA features provided in Unreal Engine called Control Rig that lets me control bones using code. First, I created a virtual bone where my camera will snap to, and then using Control Rig, I animate that bone based on different variables that come in through the gameplay. This allows for a more stabilized, true first-person camera. I should also mention that this is all replicated. In Baseline, when new players first start up the game, they'll be greeted with a simplified Archetype Build system. This is similar to the system in NBA 2K, but mine is more direct. First, you'll choose 2 attributes as your primary focus, and then you'll choose 4 attributes as your secondary focus. Your primary focus attributes can be upgraded to the max level of 100, while your secondary attributes are capped at 85. All other attributes that you do not select during this phase are capped at 65. This system is the foundation for the archetype trait system, or if you're a 2K player, this is the equivalent of the badges system that they've implemented. As you play the game, you'll earn XP and level up, giving you skill points to upgrade your stats the way you see fit. After putting some deep thought into how to approach character customization, I decided not to go the 2K route, but instead go the Fortnite route. From my own experience and research, most players don't even create players that look like them, and when they do, they cover them up with so much gear that you can't even tell it's them. Plus, the scope of a full character customizer was completely against the boundaries that I set for this project. So instead, I will have pre-made skins that will get cooler as the game grows. Currently, I'm using packs that I bought from the marketplace, but I'm hoping to find some skilled artists to handle making some custom skins for me. These packs have hundreds of modular parts, some compatible with others, while some are just one-off singular packs. In order to manage and assemble all these parts together to create different pre-made skins, I spent a couple of days creating an editor tool to assist me with asset authoring. This tool allows me to feed it file paths full of meshes, and it searches for meshes meeting a specific criteria. It then lists those parts in a window, and I'm able to mix and match those parts together to create a brand new skin. When I'm done, I can automatically generate and save a new blueprint to the file path that I tell it. There are still some bugs, but it is pretty handy. I've only generated test skins to make sure the base functionalities of the tool are working properly, and eventually I will start generating the real deal Holyfield. You dig what I'm saying? All customization items need to be secure on the backend server so people can't steal them. So I also wrote logic to automatically create playfab representations of the items. And if you want to see more about that, here's a card somewhere in the top left or right. In a basketball game, you want to be able to track the score. You want to give players credit for scoring, assists, and any other stats that are tracked throughout the season. And baseline is no different. When the ball enters the designated scoring area of the net, the last player who possessed the ball gets credit for the score. This is done by using a technique called possession history. This is a data structure stored only on the server to keep track of the play-by-play that's happening in the game. This possession history contains every player that had the ball this possession, and it clears out only when the ball is scored or when the possession has changed from current team to a new team. Possession history is also how I track assists. If the player in possession scores within the threshold of time from receiving the ball, the last possessor that passed it to them will be granted an assist, as long as their team IDs match. I use the same technique to track steals as well as rebounds. When it comes to scoring, there were a few difficulty points that I ran into. Biggest one was making sure that players only were credited a score when the ball traveled over the rim. In order to solve that, I used an invisible collision volume that I labeled the shot accepted volume. If you overlap this shot accepted volume, the score volume will accept your shot. This stops players from being able to score goals from underneath the net. I also had to solve players scoring on their own goals. Since the shooting in my game is physics-based and based in real life, players can unintentionally or intentionally score goals on their own net. In order to reduce the effectiveness of players sabotaging or selling the game, what the kids call it today, no matter where you shoot it from, all shots made on your own goal will count as a single score. For 3-point shots, I use distance from the center of the net. Each goal has the center of the net marked using a scene component, and using possession history is able to calculate the distance between the shooter and the goal. If that distance is at or further than the NBA Regulation 3, the team is awarded a 3-point score. In order to protect the integrity of the game and also keep the server runtime as low as possible, I've implemented a shot clock. Each team will have 24 seconds to get a shot off or suffer the consequences. And this ain't no regular shot clock violation. The player that possesses the ball when the shot clock expires will blow up, and then the ball is up for grabs. If you're on the same team as the player that just violated the shot clock and you pick up the ball, you will only have 3 seconds before you blow up as well. This allots a maximum of 30 seconds per team possession. I still need to test this in a public environment to see how players feel about it, so it could get scratched. Let me know how you feel about this in the comments below. Baseline is a game where you're moving at high speeds, and you need accuracy and responsiveness. I needed the ball to not only be predicted, but also accurate on all machines when it's moving. I had to make a ton of code alterations to my basketball actor, as well as the character. To not get too long-winded, the client runs the simulation with no interruptions from the server unless the ball is interacted with by another player, the ball is hit by an ability, or the ball stops the simulation on the server. That last point is most important because while the ball has stopped, I want the position to be correct on both the client and the server. Now, this solution is not the best, it's not the most accurate, but for my engineering skill and my budget, this is currently the best I could get to make sure that the ball is fair on both the client and the server. Now, there will be some instances I need to test when it comes to maybe 2 players picking up the ball at the same time, or the ball just not being in the correct area on somebody's machine, maybe because they tabbed out of the game. But like I said, that needs to be tested in a real world scenario. Speaking of tests, Baseline is in a state where I'm looking for private testers to help test out the multiplayer mechanics. Everything seems to work fine, but I just can't be sure until I've tested on different computer configurations and Wi-Fi speeds. If you're interested in becoming a tester, make sure you join my Discord. Send me a message, letting me know that you're interested in becoming a tester, and I will be choosing 5 new testers every 2 weeks. If you're not selected, you eventually will be. Also, this is a test, so I will need information about your PC configuration, your Wi-Fi network speed, and also your email that's associated with your Epic Games account. Now, if you're not willing to disclose this information, that's fine. Just know ahead of time that I will be sending you a reply back to your interest message that I need that information from you. Well, that's really all I got for you guys. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a subscribe. Oh, one more thing, I'm sorry. if you are interested in seeing how this game is progressing throughout the day-to-day, you dig what I'm saying? I do stream 4 to 6 days a week from 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. So jump into the stream, leave your boy a comment, like, let me know you're there, show some love, I'll show some love back. With that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.